Three, two, one. I think how it counts down. Oh, jeez. There's a cat right in the middle of the street. Thank God that it moved. Oh, that was not good. Thank God I saw it. I hope everybody's doing well, because again, this is a random live. I did one last night, and I'll do one tonight, and then give my prayers to everybody. Everyone needs prayers. Everybody needs support, and everybody needs. Uh, but that was close. The poor kitty was in the street. I don't know what it was eating, but I saw it the last minute. Hey, sister. Thank goodness I saw it at the last minute. But I always have time to pray for each and every one of you, and people got to stop walking. Is it better now or no? Like I said, the whole live is going to be talking about this. I guess nobody can hear me, so that means it's time for me to go. That this wasn't meant to be. But like I said, sometimes we have technical difficulties, and I'm going to have to say goodnight. And I'm not going to start it over. So I think that'll be the end of the live. Anyway, sorry about the buffering, guys. I can't do anything about it. So if nobody could hear me, then I can't. Oh, you hear me now? All right. Like I said, I wasted half the live wondering if I was buffering still, which doesn't make sense because I'm the one who's supposed to see it. Like if the chat is buffering, I'm should be seeing it on my end. Doesn't make sense. I wasn't giving up, and I wasn't gonna stay. I wasn't gonna stay here either. So when other people say it's buffering, I'm the one who should be seeing it, trying to reconnect or do this and that. But I don't get that. But who knows? Who knows? But as I was saying earlier, we need the prayers. And speaking with Mike a little earlier, he was thinking about Stacy and saying that him and some people are praying for her, and that's a beautiful thing. People that don't even know, another person, and they're praying, and that's. If you're a believer in Christ, they're all brothers and sisters. Remember, Jesus said, "Whoever does the will of my Father is your mother, your brother, and your sister." So you don't even have to know that person. If you're a believer in Christ, if two people are believers in Christ, they are bonded together in that. That's a bond that can't be broken. And it's definitely a special bond. Believer in Christ. I've always said that. I've always used that analogy too. It's an instant love affair. It is beautiful, sister, because they don't even know her, and that's what it's about. And you know what? God's hearing these prayers, and at the last second, at the very last second, God could pull you through. Just like the thief on the cross, just the very last second, God can pull you through a trial or a physical battle or whatever it may be. The very last second, God can pull you through. Now God needs to get me away from the guy in front of me because he's driving 13 miles an hour. And prayer does that, I always believe that prayer is a relationship with God. You definitely get closer to God through prayer. I also like to pray out loud, even if I'm in the street. It's not that God can't, read your thoughts, but I always like to pray out loud. Prayer is power, and we all need it. So whatever it is, the people that I always say, I don't know what everyone's going through, but we all got something. And I always say, whatever someone's going through, if you want me to pray for you for a certain thing too, I've always said I would do that. That's out loud, sister. That's right. Because out loud is more bold. Not that when you pray in your thoughts it's bad, but when you pray out loud, it's like very bold. And I think God likes that even more. I think God definitely likes prayer no matter what. When you pray out loud, I guess nobody's around tonight. When you pray out loud, I believe is better. Not better where it's like, I believe it's better. That's the best word I could say. I believe it's better. It might be better off with the black screen. I'll still never get YouTube. I got 25,000 subscribers and 2 people in here. Again, not that I'm not grateful for my 2 beautiful people that are here. I don't never get it. Terrible drivers everywhere. They are everywhere. But I've always told people, whatever you want me to pray for you, I would do that. Maybe I should do like a prayer request live. And I'll pray for everybody, whoever needs some kind of prayer, I will do. Yeah, I don't know. Sis. Like I said, I'll never understand this. Yeah, almost 25,000 people, and I'll never get it. But that's okay. Yeah, I think so, sis. I think it's a good idea. I think maybe, I don't know. I'll pick a day or something. I don't know. But I think that's a good idea. Prayer request live. People are going to need to ask for prayers, though, because that's what I'm going to be doing. If you don't ask for prayers, I'll be just sitting there. If we do a prayer live, people are going to have to ask for prayers. Oh, Soldier's here. What's up, Soldier? He's always lurking in the background. He's ready to pounce, Soldier. They put these stupid things up on every corner to have like a walkway for pedestrians. It all doesn't take up more room. Of course, it's a good idea, I know. Yeah, without a doubt, Josh. I'm usually here to listen. Yeah, I know you're always here, Soldier. You're always in the background. Soldier talks when he has to. If somebody acts up, you usually see Soldier say something. And he's in here all the time. I appreciate that, Soldier. Do. And it's a quiet night. The holidays are over. The man-made holidays are over. And like I said, I do want to come on for a little bit and just give our prayers and love and, all that good stuff. All that good stuff that God wants us to do. Especially for each other. Prayer is very powerful. I'm telling you. Prayer is powerful. She's as quick as gun. She's the quickest gun in the West, soldier. Sister don't play games. She don't play games. But I tell people, the only thing I tell people with the wrench is don't time somebody out if we're trying to, show them truth. You know what I mean? If they're being a dummy, yeah, time them out. But if somebody's asking questions, they're not really being rude a lot of times. Just let them talk. They need to hear truth. That's right, sister. Grandfather. Your grandfather, soldier. But when people are having, ask me questions whether they're Muslim or atheist, as long as they're respectful, don't time them out because they need to hear. Not yet. Oh, maybe you're close then. The last bit about love it. Thanks, Josh. Yeah, I think those little 5-6 minute videos are good, Josh. I think they're good. Daughter is 29 this year. Wow. So if your daughter's 29, I'm gonna say you have to be. I'm gonna say. Well, I'm gonna say around. I'm gonna say around 54, soldier, 55. I mean, it's just had the same answer. 55, I'm thinking. 54, 55, 56, around there. He could be younger. He's older. All right, you had it when you were 31. That's still young. 60 this May. God bless you, soldier. This year I turned 50, so I'm not that far behind. God bless you, my man. Well, sometimes you don't like to ask people's age or if they're brother or sister. I always ask if you're brother or sister before. I usually, if the name is not, single for 29 years, yeah, you know what, soldier. And these days, I think it's better to be single. Women are really, and the men definitely have lost their ways, that's for sure. 100 years old. It was thank you, Josh. I think the short videos are good, Josh. I think, I could prepare them like a study. Obviously, it's only 5 minutes, which is good. And, but, we're trying to really, as someone who's done this for a long time, and maybe in the past I would get annoyed about not getting views. I don't anymore. But at the same time, you're trying to figure out how to, hook people on to a title or thumbnail, and not being monetized doesn't help because YouTube isn't going to push you out. They're just not going to do it. And like I said, we've done a great job. I haven't worked in 2 years. You retired or? Again, I don't want to ask too many questions. If you're retired, that's a good thing, soldier. We're a little longer, but strong. There we are, sister. I mean, there's no doubt. I'm just talking out loud, sister. I'm trying to, you know, and then I'm reading somewhere. Sometimes it takes 10 years for it to click. I'm like, really? I don't know. Some people do what you wish. Some people can't retire. Some people don't want to retire. They don't want to. I mean, we have a pretty big family, but believe it or not, we're just not all together all the time. We're just not all there together. Canada's so lost right now. Are you in Canada, soldier? I don't know if I even knew that. Yeah, Canada's really. I mean, my goodness. I mean, Canada, the country's beautiful itself, but I know it's really going down the tubes there. London, Ontario. Okay, there you go. I mean, the cities are beautiful. From what I've seen, like Vancouver and like Toronto, and it's a beautiful country, but what's going on there is pretty bad too. What's going on there is happens with a lot of countries. Unfortunately. You got the western part, like Vancouver and Calgary and Edmonton. So it's nice. Canada's a nice country. I know. I've never been there, believe it or not. I've been to. I've never been there. Yeah, that's what happened there, soldier. That's because of what's his name? Your prime minister. What's the prime minister? He's off the wall. Yeah, we're like special ops for God. Well, like I said, Josh, there's actually a lot of us, but we're just not always together at the same time. So I try to do the notification thing. Colonel, who's that soldier? Or is that being funny with something? Well, what's his name? The prime minister? Is he not the prime minister no more? Trudeau? Is he not? Is he at Trudeau? Shows you where I've been. If he is, Mark Carney. I guess there's a new prime minister. You know what? That's why I haven't seen Trudeau then. I don't know. I watch the news, but I don't watch the news because it's kind of annoying. Trudeau was at. You know what? That just goes to show you. He was off the wall too. He was. Man, you talk about someone who was like soft. My goodness. Oh boy. But I think that's a good idea that we're gonna do a prayer live study. I think I'll pick a day and. But again, people have to come in with prayers. I can't just sit there and do nothing. Yeah, well, that's the cartel is running that country like Mexico and other countries, Josh. So I know there are people obviously that disagree with it, what Trump did, and it's pretty funny though if you think about it, because we're taking over Venezuela, we're taking their oil, and no, I'm not. I don't label myself Katana. Thank you for coming in. I don't label myself. Trudeau. Oh, he definitely was. A lot of people are the soldier. A lot of people are. But I'm not Protestant. I'm not. I don't label myself Katana. God bless you too, my friend. 6171. But yeah, Trump basically said that, we own Venezuela now. I mean, it's funny. It's not funny, but you know what I mean. It's just, we got a lot of oil now. I mean, Mexico might be next. So these countries that are being run by kind of the cartel, they got to look out. Be right back, guys. It might buffer for a second. All right. Politics is all that's crime. Yeah, it's worse than that, Josh. It's worse than that, Josh. I love Trump. Wish he was up. Yeah, he's look, he's not a politician, but he's not stupid. I think some people just hate him, which is fine. He's really not stupid. I don't like to use that word in general, but he's not dumb. The thing about him, he definitely talks too much, and he loves himself a little too much. And I'm a supporter of him, so don't get me wrong. But that's just who he is. And he tries to do for the country. Now, is he perfect? No. Thank you, sister. Is he perfect? No, absolutely not. And people shouldn't worship him. A lot of people in this country worship him, and they shouldn't. And they should not. Amen, sister. They shouldn't worship him. He's definitely, like I said, he does for the country. And people just hate him. And sometimes you ask people, why do you hate him? And they don't even give you an answer. But, he's brash and he's arrogant. But people have the wrong impression of him. I worked for him. I worked for him and his father when his father was alive. He used to own a lot of buildings not too far from where I live, and I was a janitor. Mass migration took, yeah, you know what? I'm sorry to hear that, soldier. You got to be, a lot of things people are going to lose their jobs with this AI. I know Amazon fired like 100,000 people in the warehouses. So these robots and AI are going to take over a lot of jobs this year. Yeah, he is, sister. Again, there's only so much he could do, too. Hey, Manon. Did I say your right name right? Manon. Manon Shukla. How you doing, Manon? But he's trying to reverse a lot of policies. A lot of damage was done, though, too. My phone won't die. But I'm not big on politics. I watch and keep up with events, obviously, because we look for the signs of the Lord's return, and they're there. And but like I said, the date said is the month said is the year said is they're just growing by the dozens. People don't like fixing things. Well, he tries, Josh. That's for sure. He tries, my friend. Oh, I'm glad I came on for a little bit. Handing out some prayers tonight, and like I said, pray for Stacy. Pray for everybody. I think we don't. People don't want to put somebody ahead of anybody, but I think Stacy really needs the love and support. And I talked to her today. And she says hello to everybody. She's in a lot of pain and she's in a lot of agony. So, but we will have a live tomorrow, a normal study. I'm thinking about 6 o'clock. I haven't thought of the subject yet, and but we will think of one and keep pushing forward for the Lord. That's what we're here to do. My mom passed away and left me. Yeah, God bless that. God bless you for that, soldier. I mean, not losing your mother is not good. Don't get me wrong. I didn't mean it that way. Amen, sister. But it's good that she left something behind that could help you. Yeah, she needs them, all right. She's not feeling too well. She is not doing too well. Well, it's definitely not fun. Yeah, like I said, it's good that she left something. Again, it's not the losing your mom is, you never want to do that. But, and again, I shouldn't even use the word but. She left you something and it's coming at a time when you need it. Money's very temporary. The same thing with my mom, Josh. So it sucks. That's all I could say. Dad is loaded, and has a wife, 18 years, his junior. Haven't seen. Wow. Yeah, so many times that happens, soldier. People fight with family. So many times people fight with family, but you know what? It's almost the norm. I think almost every family, someone's not talking to somebody or whatever. It's just stupid, and it's usually over money. Usually, yeah, we got to deal with these hard things in life. So it sucks, though. That everything is so temporary here, though. So temporary. But I think I'm gonna head inside. It's a quiet night. I mean, last night, right? People coming in like crazy. Sometimes it's weird, these lives. I don't know. So, and I need the prayers too, guys. Don't forget me. If you see what I have to deal with doing this, I need the prayers. Some of these lives are brutal with answering questions and dealing with people, but that's part of the that's part of the job. Part of the job. Thank you, sister. In this ministry, we have people coming in. I don't, again, I don't watch too many channels, but I don't see people, coming in and attacking their lives or something like they do with ours. I mean, that's a compliment from the Lord. If the Lord knows I can handle it, that's a compliment. Anyway, kids, it's kind of a quiet night, but I appreciate Soldier being here, Josh and My sister's Kate. Let's see the Lone Ranger and Tonto. Number one. Sometimes as a teacher, you feel like the Lone Ranger. You feel like you're alone. I think God does that purposely, to be honest. Thanks, Josh. I think he does that purposely at times. Remember, God can do whatever he wants. And keeps you separated, yep. But when you're in the ministry, it's not good. It's not always good to be alone. You know, it's not always good. It's definitely not always good, for sure. But anyway, my prayers are with each and every one of you. Like I said, Josh, Soldier, my brothers, and my super sister, moderator Kate. Being a little hurt. Yeah, as a teacher, it can, Josh. But you know what? Like I said, sometimes that's part of the walk. You know, a lot of your own leave you for flat, and again, I think that's a compliment too in ways. I left a comment at somebody who's a date setter, and somebody was attacking me, saying, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You call yourself a teacher." And then I write back and tell them with scripture and everything. Oh, we're not setting dates here. Well, you know, if you're setting a whole month, or you're saying, well, 2025 is the year, you're still setting dates. This moon, this, that thing, that calendar, the Greek calendar, the Chinese calendar, the January calendar really means April. Come on. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. We don't set dates here. Yeah, but you're talking about a month. What's the difference? With these calculations and the license plates and the 726 now, everybody's losing their mind. Oh, and then when Matthew 24:36, that's just someone else say, oh, it's a Jewish idiom. It doesn't really mean that. It means when he brings his new kingdom here. I said, what? The apostles clearly asked him, Lord, show us this, tell us, when is your coming? And then he said, nobody knows the hour or the time. So what's wrong with everybody? A Jewish idiom? It really didn't mean what he said? I thought the Bible said that it's not the author of confusion. That God is not the author of confusion. Why would he confuse everybody at this time? How many dates have come and gone? September, October, November, December, January 1st. Now what? And people don't see this. Every time they look at the license plate, oh, look at this number. It says Brights right in my face. Why can't we just listen to the Lord and when he said nobody knows the hour or the time? Oh, you clearly don't know what you're talking about. This guy writes, so come into my life and talk to me. We didn't set dates here. No? That guy's old. The guy that you're watching, the whole channel is based on setting times and calendars and charts. My goodness, don't you lose focus of things when you're doing that. You don't want to go home. Well, we're watchmen. We know what we're doing. The Lord tells us to watch. Yeah, he tells us to watch. But that's not the only thing he said to do. My goodness. And it's going to continue to get worse because day after day keeps going, coming and going, and people still follow them. How come something so obvious when the people are setting dates and it doesn't happen? How are they still being followed? Oh, we still love you. We still believe in you. Get out of here. That's right, Josh. And right, sister. Clowns. I feel for them, though. Someone said, what did this guy say? If you're a teacher, you know you're going to be judged 3-1. I know what I'm doing, buddy. So much BS here. That's right, soldier. They think we're the ones that are going to hear that. They're convinced of that. Calling us mockers and scoffers. They're convinced of it. This guy said to me, I clearly don't know the word. They fall into the ditch. That's right, sister. And there's so many of them out there. They're just one after the other. Psychotic. And I told Sister Kate this a while back when this all started with Joshua. I said, watch this, it's gonna grow and it's only gonna get worse. And it is. Because everybody and their mother are making rapture dreams and visions and this and that. And God told me to tell you it's this date. Oh God, the devil's trying to confuse us. Yeah, okay. God told us that nobody knows the hour or the time. Why can't we just be good with that and do the work until he comes? Why is that so difficult? Oh, you don't want to go home. You're a scoffer. You're a mocker. Really? I don't know, guys. I do know, I should say, but they don't. Thanks, Jesse, for coming in, bro. I'm about to end this anyway. I'm Jesse, if you're around. We will have a study. I don't know what it'll be about yet, but we will have one. Yes, he does, sister. And that's what they're doing. Anyway, maybe we'll do a study on that again. And I'll read Jeremiah 23 again. That's pretty long. Yeah, I've only been on 40 minutes, Jesse. I'm not going to stay on another minute. That's it. But be back live at 6 o'clock my time. I don't know the topic one, and I'm just, I got to go inside now. Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has left the building. And it's pretty funny that somebody called me Elvis. What's that, sister? Only 40? That's so fashionable. Yeah. You're fashionably late, brother. Same time zone as you, Rob. Oh, okay, that's good, soldier. Yeah, well, then you're on the East Coast in Canada. Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, you showed me. Yeah, that's right. I know. I'll see you there, soldier. Let's try to get you're leaving now? Well, it's only temporary, sister. You know the conversation's going to keep going. But I do have to go in. And someone did actually said I look like Elvis, and I don't look like Elvis. I don't look like Elvis. That night was funny. Somebody said I look like Elvis. Somebody said I should be in movies. And somebody said I look like a vampire. No, I don't look like Elvis. More like Rocky. That's what I get all the time. I mean, I'm getting a little older now, but I get it all the time. People used to say to me, you look like I'd be like Rocky. Yes, you do. No, I'm not saying I want, you know, I'm saying somebody said I look like Elvis, and I said, I know I don't, but they said. I don't think so. Like I said, more like Stallone, yeah, but not Elvis. A little old teddy bear. With a chain around my neck. And leads me everywhere. Oh, let me be. At some point we'll talk about. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure he's got some past black hair. That's it, soldier. Maybe that's it. I don't look like him. Like I said, I get Stallone most of the time. Rocky. I get cold Tony Soprano. I mean, I don't look like James Gandolfini at all, but I get cold Tony Soprano a lot. You sound like Elvis. Well, maybe it's the voice. It's the deeper voice. I don't know, but I don't look like him. But it's definitely a young Rocky. That's what I get a lot. Some people look. Some people look like say I look like Steven Seagal. I don't want to look like that. That's probably just a hair toe, but he don't even have hair. Yeah, it's the voice. I know, sister. With Tony Soprano, I've gotten called quite a few times. Again, I don't look like Gandolfini. Steve Sharippa, yeah, maybe. Maybe, like I said, Soldier a little bit. I've gotten a little older type of thing, but maybe. I mean, he's a lot heavier than I am. With Velcro hair. And he's a douchebag. Excuse my language. Thanks, Jesse. I do look like Rob. Steve Sharippa, I could see a little bit, but not really, Soldier. But I could see where you're coming from. Again, I don't take these as any insults when people say I look like someone I should say. I'm not the. Yeah, he's a douchebag, Josh. Did he really? Sharippa? I mean, he's not thin, Soldier. He's not skinny. I mean, he might have worn something in the beginning, but he wasn't a small guy. I mean, you saw him. Yeah, that was obvious in some of the scenes. Yes, but then he got big. He got big on his own. And so you would see him in t-shirt and shorts in some scenes. But yeah, in the beginning, that was definitely fake. That stomach. But Steve Sharippa, man, I don't see it. But again, some people, see things in their own eyes, type of thing. He's in Blue Bloods. Is he? He got fatter after that. Yeah, he was. He wasn't small, Jesse. Sister Kate said hi. Hi, sister. I do have to get going. But everybody has a certain, what they see and like, oh yeah, he looks like that. Again, I've always gotten the Rocky. That's been by far the most. Hey, brother. That's nice to have you in here, sister. I told you I'm going to do that to you and Ursula. It's so nice for you to join us. I mean, Ursula knocks herself out 12 times alive. That's why she's never in here. All right, kids. I'm older than some of you. I'm not older than some of you. I think I'm right in the middle of this little group. And blessed as we are, brothers. It's nice to be here. We are definitely blessed to have you, brother. Sister has been loyal for me for a long time now too, along with Jesse and Josh and Soldier too now. But a weapon is using, and so are all of you. You just have to use it sometimes. I'm definitely glad she's on our side. Agree, we gotta count. We do, Josh. All right, guys. Like I said, Jesse, hope you, my brother. It's always good to have you. And 6 o'clock my time. I know Soldier will be there. Josh will be there. Sister Kate will be there, and hopefully we'll get a good crowd. And I mean, it's always a good crowd. Don't get me wrong, but I'll put up a notification early, and hopefully people get it, and we'll get a good study. And we always do, though. On that note, thank you, Soldier. I know you will be. Soldier, do you mind me asking your real name? You don't have to answer that if you don't want to. I think you might have told me. And we'll try if we're not working. No problem, brother. I like to know people's real names, but I also respect that people don't want to do it. You can flat out say no, and it won't bother me. All right, Stephen. Thank you, brother. It's good to have a name behind, the username too. So, thank you. And that is brothers, that's for sure. Soldier sits in the background, Jesse, and then he attacks when he has to. Like I said, we got a pretty big family, believe it or not. It's just a matter of getting everybody in here together. My son was Jesse. There you go. Again, thank you for sharing that, Stephen. And like I said, guys, I do have to go in, but tomorrow, 6 o'clock, be there, or what's it called? Be square? I don't even know what that means. Yes, call him Soldier. So that's that's his name. But I like to know a real name too. Behind the username. All right, guys, let me get going. I love you all. My prayers are with you all. But I can't take credit. It was gifted to me. Means be there or be a loser. Good night, guys.